Hello everyone. Sorry about that. Code Geass is one of my favorite anime to this day, despite me watching it many years ago. And recently I found myself rewatching parts of it. Specifically, I remember chess being a very prevalent symbol throughout the show. The first time I watched it, I didn't know very much about chess. But these days I've actually been quite into it, which is where all the problems started. We have two games we'll be showing to here today. The first game is between Lelouch v BRITANNIA, subbing in for his employer with the black pieces, and some unnamed Britannian noble with the white pieces. Unfortunately, the entire game wasn't shown on screen. As a matter of fact, almost none of the game was actually shown. However, they do show the position where Lelouch starts playing, and I was able to extrapolate, and here it is. Lelouch's friend Rivel says there's no way he could win the game at that position, to which Lelouch says he'll only need about 9 minutes. Lelouch begins to move his king, to which the nobleman starts laughing hysterically, which is somewhat kind of warranted. More on that later. A lot of people have scrutinized how the show conveys the importance of the king in an attack. However, in endgame, the king certainly does play a role in attacking. And now as to what moves Lelouch actually played, there is a mating sequence involving the king, and it goes king to g6. There isn't much white can do. He has to defend the h1 square, so queen to d1, rook to h8, queen captures f3, pawn captures, and no matter what white does, it is checkmate with queen to h1. Now the scene is very thematically fitting, showing Lelouch as a master strategist and revealing the Britannian nobility to be very arrogant despite not having all that much to show for it. However, they probably never took into account big nerds with too much free time such as myself looking this far into it. The show portrays Lelouch's position as unwinnable when there are about a million ways to win it. In fact, there is a better move for Lelouch at the beginning. Feel free to pause the video and try to find it. For those of you who have found it, congratulations, you are an excellent subscriber and watcher of epic anime. And for those of you who just want to enjoy the show, it is queen to g2 checkmate. So there are a lot of illogical aspects of the scene, such as it describing black having a completely losing position despite being able to checkmate in one, and Lelouch saying he need 9 minutes when realistically it's more like 9 seconds. As to why he decided to move the king, it's pretty clear he did it just a hard flex on the nobleman by mating in a much cooler way than just g2. The next game is between Lelouch v BRITANNIA, again with the black pieces, and Schneisel L BRITANNIA with the white pieces. Schneisel has been described as being the only person Lelouch couldn't beat as a child in chess, and the position they found themselves in would seem to support that. The spectators say it's an even game, but anyone with at least one eye can see that white is clearly winning, being up 3 pawns and a rook. Here he moves his king to c6, saying if the king doesn't lead, how can you expect his subordinates to follow? This is technically the best move, in the sense that if you are on the 20th floor of a burning building, shooting yourself is the best option. There's basically nothing for black to do here, barring any huge blunders. White will queen at least one of their pawns, and it's game over. Eventually, Lelouch says that Schneisel can't advance any further, and Schneisel says they'll get into a 3-fold repetition, meaning the game will eventually end with a stalemate. Lelouch offers a draw, which Schneisel declines. Luckily for Lelouch, with the power of anime magic, he gained 3 pawns and either a queen or a bishop. It's not really clear, just out of nowhere. This happens many times throughout the scene with pieces either being added or removed for no reason. In this, I guess, new position, Schneisel plays king to g4, putting his king in check while simultaneously saying checkmate for some reason. And it is in this position that Schneisel should have immediately lost the game for playing a very obviously illegal move. Lelouch then very reasonably asks, "What is this?" saying how he could easily take the king, but doing so would give into his intent, which he can't allow. He then moves his king to h2 behind the pawn, rather than taking Schneisel's king with either his king or his pawn, which would have given into Schneisel's intents of literally losing the game. The audience then loudly gasps, completely dumbfounded, that this supposed chess master would make such a nonsensical move. Or maybe they just realized how dumb the entire situation was. And it was in this position that the table girl tries to stab Lelouch for his embarrassing chess play. So there you have it. As always, I'd like to thank my contributors to my channel. Thank you for watching. Have an excellent day. So obviously a lot of the chess played in the show just didn't make much sense, but it honestly really doesn't bother me that much, since it's really used symbolically more than anything. While it would have been nice for it to actually make sense, at the end of the day, it's just a TV show, so it's really not a big deal. Thank you for watching, and watch Code Geass. The show is amazing.